to my channel. Last week I said that I was going to post a video and it was going to be my dumb choices I've made so far at college, and that really was the plan. Like, I have it edited, it's on my laptop, ready to send to YouTube, and me and Ashley are watching it and she's like, Regan, you can't post this. And I'm like, I can't post this. I mean, like, I could, but my family watches this. Like, do they really want to know all the dumb decisions I've made so far? No, they don't. At least I don't want them to know. So this video is actually just going to be my running journey and how I got to where I am today, my marathon story, and all of it, just all of it. And if you don't want to watch this, I totally understand. Like, does anyone really want to watch, you know, how someone got into their sport? But mine's a pretty interesting story, so if you do want to see, just keep watching. If not, just tune in a few days when I decide to post another video. Basically, I started running 5 years ago in 8th grade. I actually started running because I struggled with a lot of eating issues and body image issues, and that's a story for a different day. But I started running to lose more weight and everything, and after I really got into the sport and stuff, I figured out that, like, I really love running. Like, I loved it. It made more sense than any other sport, one, because it's super easy and I don't really have to have any hand-eye coordination. And y'all see how spastic I am. Like, you know, I don't have any coordination. So that's one of the reasons why I loved it so much. And I got into high school and I wanted to join the cross-country team because I always saw them running around campus. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do that. And I did. I started on the cross-country team and I sucked. Like, y'all, I could not run 2 miles without stopping. I think it took me like 25-30 minutes to run 2 miles. Actually, I totally lied. It took me like 25 minutes to run 2 miles, and I was just very out of shape. I was very out of breath. I didn't know how to control my breathing, how to do anything like that. And so I ran, and I started getting these awful pains all in my ankles. And cross country is kind of a brutal sport, really and truly. So I did get knocked into this giant hole in one of our races because I was running with probably about 300 other girls in my meets, and so that's a lot of people, so there's going to be a lot of pushing, and I rolled my ankle, and I thought that's what had started it. Really and truly what happened, long story short, is I got shin splints, super bad shin splints. I said if I did any physical activity, I could, there was a possibility that I could end up with stress fractures. So I was like, got it. So I was put out for 6.5 weeks, and I came back. I did track. I mean, I'm still JV, like, there's nothing much to it. I wasn't bad, but I wasn't that good either. So I ran the 800, and then I go all summer workouts, and cross-country season comes up again. I'm like, let's do this, let's go, I'm ready, all that kind of stuff. Well, my knees just killed me all the time. It hurt to walk up the stairs, it hurt so much, everything just hurt in my knees. And after going to the doctor and everything, they said that I had patella tendonitis, so I had tendonitis in my knees. I had to wear bands. It still wasn't helping. My parents were just kind of over all the injuries and all the doctor bills and all the pain that I was in. They were like, if you get hurt again, you have to stop running. And I was like, that's not going to happen, kids. So I actually took up swim for a season, and y'all, swim is Ashley's sport. She's an amazing swimmer. That is not my sport. But it did help a lot with my knees and my legs, and it helped me build muscle. And I haven't had a problem with my knees since then, if that tells you anything that swim has done for me. So that's great. I loved, I hated swim, to be 100% honest. I felt like I was drowning the whole time. But it did help, so I'm glad that I did it. I came back in the spring, I ran track, and junior year I finally got to do a full season of cross country. And in this season, everything's going great. I'm doing great. I missed the state cutoff time by 1 person, so only your top 7 runners go to state, and I was number 8. So of course I was bummed about that. I did go as like a backup or something like that if they needed me, but I didn't run. So right after cross country ended, that ended in November, and the end of November I started training for my half marathon, and I ran my first half marathon that January. I ran the Louisiana marathon, and it went really great. My time was 2 hours and 2 minutes, and I was really proud of that. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna run another half. I don't really know. I just kind of kept running, kept at it, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I go through all of my summer training. I run cross country my senior year. My running partner, actually, her name is Molly. She's an amazing girl. Like, she's just an amazing person. Like, you just be around her and you just want to be a better person. Like, she's so sweet. I love her so much. She was my running partner all of my senior year, and our times were just so close the whole time. She was a freshman, I was a senior. I was the only senior girl on the team, and our times were so close to each other. So when state rolled around, she was 7 seconds faster than me. So she was going to go to state, and this is my senior year. I wasn't going to go to state that year, and that was going to be it. Well, my coach pulls us aside and was just basically like, Molly, you're an amazing runner. You're doing so well for being a freshman. I've never seen someone like come so far in such a short amount of time, but you are a freshman, and Reagan is a senior. So Molly, being the amazing person that she is, actually gave up her spot for state and let me run. And I ran state. I don't remember what my time was, to be 100% honest. By then I was running 3 miles in about 23 minutes or so. So, I mean, like, I was still hauling butt, but not enough to like get a scholarship or anything like that. So yeah, that happened. And then, let's see, in that May, the May of my junior year, something hit me like a bag of bricks, and I'm sitting in chemistry class, and I remember this day like so specifically. I'm sitting in chemistry class, and I'm just sitting there, I'm just kind of like daydreaming or whatever, and I'm like, I'm gonna run a marathon. Like, then right there, I decided, I was like, I'm going to run a marathon. I'm going to run it in January, and I'm going to do this. So throughout my cross-country training, I made sure to add in my long runs on the weekends, since I was running every day for practice. I just did my long runs on the weekend, and whenever cross-country ended, I took about 4 days off of absolutely no running, just doing whatever I wanted, and I jumped straight into marathon training. Like, straight into marathon training. It was crazy, it was intense, it was insane. I don't know how the heck I did it. I trained for it and everything, and marathon day comes. My mom ran the half and I ran the full, so that was amazing. Just having her there and having so much support. It was whenever I finished running my marathon, y'all, it was 26 degrees outside. I didn't stop running at all. I didn't. Like, the whole race, all 26.2 miles, that is how long a marathon is. 26.2 miles, and I ran every single bit of it. My finishing time was 4 hours and 4 minutes, and I crossed that finish line and collapsed. Like, my mom was standing in the finish line area, which she totally was not supposed to. I don't know how they let her do that, but that's her story. And my mom caught me, and I remember just being so emotional. I was so drained, y'all. It was so intense. I remember afterwards, I couldn't get up the stairs. Mr. Paul totally carried, my stepdad, he carried me up the stairs, and my sister helped me take a bath, like helped me get in and out of the bathtub because I just couldn't. I did eat. I eat jambalaya. It's my favorite thing to eat after I run, and my favorite drink after I run is a purple Powerade. It's always my go-to thing. So everything like that. So I get home, I take a bath, I soak, I ice, I do everything I'm supposed to. I pop more ibuprofen. And I take a nap, like the fattest nap, y'all. I think I slept for like 2 hours, and then I get up, I make my way slowly downstairs, and I take another nap on the couch for like another hour and a half. I ate a bunch of ice cream, gumbo, and cake. That was what I ate that night. It's just pig out. So for the first week after your marathon, you're not really supposed to run. You're supposed to stretch a lot, do yoga, but you're supposed to take it super easy. And I heard of people having this, but I never knew anyone that had it. They have what it's called the post-marathon flu. Basically what happens is you use so much energy, and so, like, you just use so much, and you're taking so much out of your body while you're running this marathon, that afterwards your immune system gets super, like, it just really just gives out. So I did get a cold, like a bad cold afterwards. I've never felt the pain that I felt after I ran that, though. Like, on some real mess, my bones ached. Like, the inside of my bones ached. It was a pain that wasn't, my muscles ached, of course, everything, but like my actual bones hurt, y'all. And I took 2 weeks off and I started track season. And this is my senior year of track season. And it was intense. I was very burnt out. I've never experienced burnout the way that I did. I just didn't want to go to practice. I didn't want to run anymore. I was very exhausted, and I was running the 2 mile for track. I ended up making it to, I made it all the way to regionals, and after regionals is state. So, what's it called? Oh, district, that's what it's called. So I made it to district. I wasn't supposed to make it to district. I might tell you that. I don't know how I did it, but I did. And I was the fastest 2 miler on the team. There's only 2 of us that ran though. So I did make it to district, and after district is regionals, and I thought district was going to be my last race. Like, I really did. I was like, I'm done. I'm ready to give it up my all and be done. Like, I was so done with running. And I crossed the finish line crying, because this is my last race of high school. It's the last time I get to wear my uniform. Last time I get to hear my coach yell at me, my teammates yell at me. Like, just very emotional experience. I crossed the finish line. My coach catches me, which is something, he's not really like that, I guess. And he catches me and he's like, Ray, you did it. Like, you made it to regionals. And I cried even harder because I didn't want to run at regionals, y'all. I was so done. And then I threw up a bunch because I don't really know why I threw up so much, but I did. And then I felt better and we were good and I was ready to go home. But, yeah, so then I make it to regionals and I run regionals and I totally come in last place. Like, I'm not even ashamed to say that I came in last place, but that's also because the girl that came in first place did run a 10:20 2 mile. I don't know if you know how quick that is. That is a 5:10 mile pace. 5:10. My 2 mile time was 13:20. That was my finishing 2 mile time. So I totally came in last place, was super excited. I didn't have to run at state. Was very excited to be done with track and running. And I took a lot of the summer off. I didn't run a lot. Now we are where we are today. I am a week and a half away from hip surgery, so I am still running. They did tell me that basically all the damage is done. There's not really much else I can do to hurt my hips. They just said that it is going to hurt if I run, just the same amount of pain that I've been in, but it's not going to hurt me anymore. So I am still running. I did run 4 miles yesterday. I'm training right now for 10K. Which is only 6.2 miles, and I'm running that in, let's see, next weekend. So I'm super excited about that. I've run that 2 days before my surgery, which probably isn't the best idea, but it'd be alright. I have to go 6 months without running, so like a little 10K before a major hip surgery, it will be fine. So, but yeah, this is my running journey. This is how I got to where I am today. I could not have done any of this without my parents' support and my family's support, really, all of my sisters, like, and I hope to continue to run. I want to run more marathons. People always ask me if I'm going to run, like if I'm going to do a triathlon or even an Ironman. I really don't know. I've thought about a triathlon. An Ironman has never crossed my mind yet, but if I'm sitting in chemistry class one day and I decide I'm doing an Ironman, I'll let you know. But that hasn't happened yet, and I don't know if it ever will. Alright, so I do have all of my medals here. These are all my medals from running my 10Ks, half marathons. This is my marathon medal. This is all of them. And that was so loud, I'm so sorry. And I also do have all of my bibs. So whenever you run, you get a number. You either put it here or here, wherever. I've kept all of them since I started running. Like every single one of my bibs I have. So that's a ton. But I do like keeping them, and I write all of my times and what the day was on the back so I can see if I've progressed or gotten slower or anything like that. But this is my running story. This is how I became a runner. I love it. I love to train people. I'm training someone right now for the 10K that I'm about to run. I've had people ask me to train them for halves and fulls, and I helped train my mom for her half, and I got my mom into running. So it's an amazing sport. You meet so many amazing people, and you just always feel super good and very proud of yourself. Like, even if you're running a mile at like 12 minutes, you're still running a mile. Like, a mile is a mile no matter how fast you're going. So all I have to say is one more mile and keep it up, and yeah, this year. So that is all of my story time for you today. Tune in next week or in a few days whenever I decide to post a video, because I'm kind of not good with posting it on the same day each week. And yeah, see you guys next time.
Trading punches with the heart of darkness, going to blows with your feet.